Not present, District 5, Mr. Ruben. District 6, Mr. Ruben Basan, third. District 7, Salvador Hernandez. Not present, and District 8, Mr. Francisco Diaz. We do have a quorum.
Hey.
You have a quorum now.
Yeah, I was happy.
Barely made it.
Nice to see you, Mr. Shanley, Mr. Ramirez. So I may thank you all for being here as well and coordinating the meeting for today for us to be here at this time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call the approval of the minutes for the last meeting held on September 11, 2024. The minutes have been provided and are up under the meetings tab. We've got a chance to review them. Let's get a motion to approve the last meeting's minutes. Motion.
Motion to approve the minutes of held on Wednesday, September 11, 2024.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Any against? None. Motion carries. Bullet point number 5, communications and announcements. There is none. Bullet point number 6, items for discussion with possible action. We'll move with item number 1, discussion possible action to change the PNR advisory committee meetings from 5:30 p.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the second Wednesday of every month. How does that work? I think mostly taking into consideration
Why-
staff. It is the middle of
Why the second Wednesday? Is there something around that?
We've one of the reasons has been because there was also other committee meetings when we would share the office space. Now that we're here and this meeting room is equipped to do the live recording and all that, but it just stayed as though second Wednesday because that's the date we would get assigned when we had to meet at City Hall. City Hall at that time was the only one that was equipped to do the recordings. Ever since after the pandemic, we've been meeting here, and it's been live streamed and recorded from this facility. Hope that works
Just
for
a
everybody.
question.
Ultimately, I know that we're meeting in the middle of the workday, not only for the board members, but also for the park staff. It is something that is, being pulled from anything else. I know that previously we were meeting in the evenings, mostly, that the day has already, the workday has already gone through. I don't know if that works for the majority of members, and would also like to hear the input from park staff.
The only reason I ask about the Wednesday is because, if it's dead fast, we can put it on our schedule, then that's fine. But if it's gonna change, then we need to know about it well in advance so we don't plan anything else. As far as the time, I love the time. I'm all for it. I'm all for this time.
On behalf of, I'm sorry. No, go right ahead.
No, real quick, I know I'm not staff, but, for me, during the day, middle of the day works wonders for me. Cause I always have something in the evening, and of course, the evenings did work, but it was an extra step that I had to take. So for lunch, from 11 to 1 is perfect for me.
That works for me as well. As long as it stays on the second Wednesday of that we can designate that works. We can try it out, for the remainder of this year. We'll have to revisit it if we see it's not working out for members. I know that we'll have incoming at least one other member, but we'll we can visit it again in case that has to change. But it had been for a long time that it had been in the evenings, and it had been always the second Wednesday.
We had literally never thought about moving it to the midday until Mr. Averill brought it up. So we want to thank him for that. On our part, I think we're also good with it. So Mr.
I was just gonna mention that as long as it's fixed, like we said, the second Wednesday at 6 hour, we'll schedule our routines around this meeting. And so we'll make sure.
See, all of us can put it on our schedule.
Yes, sir.
Plan it for that day.
Yes, sir.
Makes sense. I mean, we're good.
Yep.
We'll move forward with, if we can have a motion to,
I'll make a motion.
there's a motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? All right. None, motion carries. So we'll move forward with meeting every second Wednesday of the month at 11:30 a.m. and it'll be here at the Parks Conference Room. In case if that changes, so we can.
We'll let you know ahead of time.
Thank you. Item number 2, discussion possible action to add rule signs on the racquetball sports facilities.
That was the issue that I had like brought up too. I want to thank Chris for bringing for being able to print the signs. Honestly, I think we're a little bit behind on the football scene compared to other cities, but we're growing rapidly, and I think that's awesome. I want to like thank first of all everyone on the staff board for like implementing like beautiful courts at Divine, and even trying to upgrade the ones over here on Gaisanes too. The only issue is that it's growing so fast. And if any of you guys have ever gone like past 3 p.m., that's the spot for high schoolers to go, or that's the spot for everyone to honestly like hang out and like it's really packed. And the issue with that is, other cities what they implement to tackle that is they kind of invest in these systems. So it's like a racket system, and so what it is that everyone just puts their paddle there, so it doesn't become a first come first serve basis. Because what happens is that a lot of families, or maybe like one family will bring, let's say, 3 people, and then they'll put like their launchers, and then they'll just stay there for the remaining like from 5 to 10. And so that pickleball court will be in use for 8 hours, but it'll only be utilized by 3 people. And then it makes the other like courts very congested, so they can't play. Why cities do this is so all of the courts are used to the public, so it's not a first come first serve basis. It's more of like the facility is being used 24/7 by everyone. So no one has like the right to the court, even if they got there earlier. It's a public use court.
Generally speaking, is there any rule or length of time that which should be adopted?
I mean, games I played here on the like the rotating system and some of the rules that other
Yeah.
systems, that other cities use. San Antonio, El Paso. I've gone to Houston, also Harris County, and they use like each court has like their own rules, and most of it is like based more on like etiquette and more on how the city kind of like sees like issues. But it has to do more with like no alcoholic beverages, like proper shoes. Why proper shoes? Because the courts are expensive, so like certain types of shoes also scrape, and they also like crack like the courts also. And then but no, I mean the games are really fast. The games last max like 15 minutes, but if 3 people are playing the court and they're there for the whole time, it just makes everything more congested.
So
It's like pick up basketball games. When
You know,
Yeah.
your time is up, your time is
I
up.
was saying, could you put a time limit on it?
Not really. It's more on a game. Like you can't put a limit on a game. It's more.
No, like an hour. Let's say they reserve the court or they get to use the court for an hour.
My only issue with that is like we're not like a country club, or I think like that's how I would see like any city use facilities or any city like anything that is public of use. The moment people start reserving it or calling to, it doesn't become public anymore. It becomes more of I reserved it. I feel like there could be more issues with it. And since there's no monetary value to it, it's more on like who is enforcing who got there.
Yeah, I feel like who would be monitoring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be monitored.
Yeah, that was gonna be my topic of conversation. We're gonna have to have somebody monitoring that during the open hours, which is from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. We just can't afford that. We can't.
So just kind of let people know we're, people are in line to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is this like a winner stays on, whoever's next is next?
Yes. So every court and every city hall that you did, there's a park called Fairchild in San Antonio, and every other park that's actually like that size. They're usually like bigger parks, but the one that Divine is actually a medium-sized facility. Is actually like really good for our city. It's a winner stays, but after the person stays, they just pick their paddles, and then the next person of the next place. So all the courts are like winner stays, and so it just becomes like a faster rotation because you don't have to wait for one specific court. You're now waiting for 6 that can possibly open, and everyone plays regardless of like luck.
If you're not good, just get there earlier and practice.
True, like there's that times like in the morning, like that people go that like they probably won't utilize the system, but it's more towards like peak hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be more like from 4 to like 9.
See, but unfortunately, we live in a society that people are gonna find a way to bend the rule whichever way they see fit, like what you're saying. They bring a whole family, they say, okay, well, these three people are paying right now, but then those three people are gonna play next.
Well, I think that's why like we need to implement things like this, just because Laredo is very como se dice, como somos bien mucha raza, tenemos como and like
Boy, do we know that.
and the etiquette in Laredo is still not there. Like we're being honest, but I think like if they see the city putting these, especially early on, this facility has 3 months of existing, the divine
Yes,
one,
the
and then
Divine
the one at Canizales has like I want to say 2 years.
Yes,
About
it's
it.
about right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, let's say you're playing open gym basketball.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the rule, right? Winner stays on, next five come out, right? In some places, they even go, okay, if that winning team wins 5 games in a row, they break up that team, but it's too good of a team and get somebody else and stuff, right? So it works in basketball.
Yes.
I would think it would work.
It would work here.
But making the rules known.
Yeah,
That-
so we
that's-
would post the rules. We
Well,
would post the rules up on the.
Probably more so than that, Tommy. Probably the best thing would be for a period of time, small, short period of time,
Just have somebody.
have somebody there kind of monitoring it, saying, this little thing that's out there,
Mhm.
this is how you use it.
Yeah.
And explaining to them how it's done and kind of watching what's going on and just monitoring,
Yeah.
because then you could let it go and maybe come back and revisit it 3 months, 4 months later and see how it's going. Yeah, I'm done.
So this is for the whole complex or per court?
Per
For the whole
court.
complex.
Oh,
Actually.
really?
I would say
But
put
there's
one per
bigger ones
court.
actually. But yeah, and that actually.
In other words, you put it like, if it's court one, and this is who's next.
Right.
Court two, who's next? That way they know, because if you do it for 6 of them, who's to say, well, no, this is for this court, no, it's for that one, no.
Or,
And
I
then-
wanna play on this court.
Yeah, so I would think it's, that would
This
be
is
best.
my lucky quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you.
Somebody can see me there.
I just advocated for
Yeah,
one.
6
At the west.
Because this one is a 3-court one, and it's okay. But if we could do one for each court,
Yeah, I
it would
don't think,
actually be
and
great.
the
The cost of these is a medium sized one. They're smaller ones. They range from anything from 300 to 1,000.
but we'll,
But this one
make
specifically
it here.
600.
Métele madera.
And that's why I was here.
We will.
This was actually made. So there's people that actually also make them for way cheaper.
well, we'll look at it. I think it's better if we do it for each court, because then you know this is for this.
I agree there.
So we do that, and then I also agree with Mr. Averial's recommendation that initially when we start this, we have the rules in place, but we have somebody explaining them. And just stick around for a day or two, because normally the people are gonna go to the same ones.
Yeah.
So now they understand the process, and yeah, hopefully they move forward with that understanding.
We don't want them to think that these are free
Paddles.
practices they can take.
Yeah. Oh, they gave me paddles.
Oh, we can put something like, I'm next, and then you can explain what it is, right?
That's awesome. This.
Well,
Something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe some instructions on that one there too. Did traffic at the West Laredo one, go down once that the Divine Mercy, opened up?
It actually increased, and I don't want to jump into the other point, but it actually increased. The only thing with that issue with that park is the lighting. But that facility, in my opinion, is better for higher level play. Like the higher level players
At
actually.
Carizales, I call it Lafayette, but yeah.
Yeah, Lafayette. It's just that there's no lighting, so after a while, like they can't play. That's it.
Is there a glow in the dark version, like golf and skiing or something?
Yeah, if there ain't traffic that, would go at times and see from
We can look at
Franklin as well.
But Canizales actually, like the whole like city has actually like picked it up really good, which is awesome. It's just that
You get better, it's not a sport.
I think it creates those peak times because people are now wanting to play from 3 to 8. Once there's no light anymore, then people don't play. But everyone plays at the same time, and it just becomes very congested.
I just drove by there early in the morning, about 10:30, and there was 2 of the 4 courts already being used. They're playing. So it's being used.
I've got a question. You mentioned something that Canizales is more conducive for,
Competitor players.
why is that?
Actually, if you can see this image, the one over here, I think one of the things that was implemented wrong at the Divine one was the rails, and the reason why is
You mean the fencing?
the fencing.
Okay,
the thought process behind it is good, but if you see other facilities, the reason why they don't implement rails, they at least like they do a back rail but not a side rail, is because there's certain shots that you can hit around the corner. So those
Okay.
fences, they just like limit you.
Impede you from,
They
But
impede
wait,
you.
explain what we're talking about.
I'm talking about, you see how like in this court, there's no fencing on the middle, but if we go to Divine, that one has a fencing around here. So
between the courts, right?
yes.
In
so
between the courts, in between the courts, so there's three sets and three, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So in between each
But you're
court,
saying that
Yeah,
this fence,
that's correct.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a.
I know, it has an opening,
But in Laredo we
But-
do.
but that's good or bad?
That's bad.
It should be closed?
It should be open.
There should not be a fence in between the
Like ping
courts.
pong.
Length-
Sideways.
Length, yeah, sideways. And
Ya sabes.
And remember,
I've seen it.
the market tennis
Yeah,
courts,
no.
you know, they didn't have that.
they don't, yeah.
Yeah, so.
So, just so everybody knows, we implemented that to prevent balls from rolling into other courts and interfering with other people's games. So that's why we did that. But, I mean, we can certainly consider,
So there's like
moving them.
a standard, I mean, Mr. Chairman, is there like a standard design? I would imagine we would have looked at that.
The
when we
back,
built it.
the back rail that you guys implemented, that one's really good.
Okay.
Because ideally that's what you.
But like, is there national design for pickleball courts? Where we created the game, this is the design of the court, this is when you lay out for 3 courts, for 6 courts. These are the standards that we use, like tennis, you go, you see the standards, the minimum dimensions and all of that, and you do certain layouts. I don't know, there is, I'm asking.
Similar to USTA, which is the US Tennis Association, there's a USPA, which is the Pickleball Association. They should have some. If not, I can also send some resources.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
We're actually, just so everyone knows, we're also looking, we've had discussions of doing competitive pickleball at Buena Vista, our new complex that we just opened up, for tournaments and to rent, officially rent for tournaments, and so it's just an idea.
Okay.
Trying to get ahead and not stay behind.
Oh, yeah. You know, awesome. Yeah.
So the fencing,
Yes. I don't think you guys need to remove it, honestly. I think
Okay.
eventually,
People get used to it.
yeah, and I think like it would just cost more, and I think like yeah, it's just okay. Like there's already an alternative court too, and I feel like there's gonna be alternative courts in the future. So I don't think it's such a big issue, honestly.
Because if you do remove them, you are gonna have people complaining, oh, it's because that
Yeah.
ball's coming.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
you give up one thing for another. It's
I think just in the future, I think just like looking at other courts, that's it. But
so maybe implement, like, let's say, for example, we're building another identical one
yeah,
of Divine Mercy. So on the front 3, we can put fences in between, but on the back 3, we leave it wide open for more competitive play.
you could, yeah,
Something like that, incorporate both styles.
yeah. That's awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say not
Just an idea.
because you're right. Like I do think people are they're gonna find a way to complain. So I think
I don't care what you do, somebody's
it was
gonna.
gonna be, yeah.
oh yeah.
Since this is requiring a recommendation on the placement of the signage and of the racquetball holders, to require that make a motion, would that be to looking into the purchase of signage and for all pickleball courts?
Correct.
And implementation,
Right. So if anyone would like to motion to make request Parks to look into the purchasing of the signage and the racquetball holders for all the racquetball courts.
and if you give us a leeway of the type and stuff, we can install, we'll look around.
Just for everybody, this says racquetball instead of pickleball?
I put racquetball because that's word for
Okay.
like anything with
Small paddle.
with anything with a paddle. So
Okay.
I think we can implement that across any facility, not just pickleball. I think that would
Any applicable facility.
any applicable facility that would be great.
That would be tennis as well, right? Or no?
I would say
Tennis has a different dimension.
No, I know, but the rules and the guidelines.
yeah, I would say so. I think it can protect the facilities and just make it more accessible towards people.
Is there an issue with usage on tennis? Tennis?
We have rules already in place for the tennis courts based on USTA regulations, right? And then, of course, what they can put on the courts. You don't want people doing
But could those,
skateboarders or
could those kind of be adopted for pickleball?
It's a different game in a way.
I mean, as far as usage, you can use it for so long, what you were talking about, the rack here, you know, put it in the rack, I'm next, that kind of thing.
I just think tennis doesn't have as many people as pickleball is.
You don't have to run as much, that's why.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
An old body like mine, I'm going after pickleball.
And that's why pickleball is getting very popular.
That's true. There's
More tennis facilities.
I'm playing you.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but can I make a recommendation and change racquetball just to pickleball? Just change racquetball to pickleball, and that way we can focus on pickleball right now.
Okay.
Institute the signage and the racket holders or the paddle holders and all of that and focus on that. And then if we need to,
Yeah, I mean, internally, if we see an issue in tennis, I mean, we don't have to bring it here. We already know this
right.
works.
Yeah.
We can implement it over there and let you all know that this is what we're doing.
And maybe what we can do is we talk about etiquette and it, you know, it's put out videos, you know, either on a website or on a Facebook page to just
a good idea.
FYI. You might not know that this.
Work with PIO.
That works, yeah, that will work on how to, what is this for?
I don't know.
So they're gonna look at it and say, what is it for?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to start
So,
kind
well,
of changing the culture.
We're gonna,
So motion to possible,
The looking into the signage and the racks.
I motion a possible. I motion for Parks and Rec to possibly look into the addition to add both signs to pickleball facilities, and in addition to also add bouquet systems to each court in those pickleball facilities.
Sorry.
motion in a second, all in favor? Aye. None? Against?
There's about a rotation system, right?
Yes.
Motion carries.
so that's number 2 and number 3? They both pass at the same time?
No, that was only number two, number three, Mr. Ramirez, we hadn't addressed that.
Okay.
So, number three, discussion possible action to add rotating system on pickleball courts, make it more accessible. I know in the previous item, we'd like to, connect it to, item number three, which we just discussed, there's a motion to pass item 3.
I think we need a motion and then the second and then to pass item 3 as well. We've already discussed it,
Correct.
I think.
So, we'll make a motion to, also pass item number 3 as stated previously on item number 2.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor? Aye, none motion carries. Item number 4, discussion on lighting issues at several parks.
I just brought that up, I just wanted to ask, why, Parks and Rec didn't, add any lighting, but they did it to the Divine one.
Are you referring to Canizales Park?
Canizales Park.
Okay, so, it wasn't planned in the beginning to add lighting. It wasn't presented as a court with lighting. We addressed the issue after the fact, after it was built. So the infrastructure wasn't set for that. So what we did on behalf of Parks is we added lights that were attached to the dome, to the basketball dome, in hopes that that would be sufficient. We are aware that it needs lights. We are aware that it wasn't enough, right, to be able to play pickleball until 11 o'clock at night, safely anyway.
Yeah.
So, we did talk about, when Coach was here with us, we did talk about adding some poles on the west side that would complement the lights that we've already added. On the east side, we just haven't gotten to that point.
I had seen, one of the, I wanna say, right next to the roof that is below the basketball courts, there's a new lighting system that you guys are implementing, correct or no?
The string lighting that is out there
There's this,
by the soccer fields,
There's
or
like this, there's like this, it's
Pole?
like elevated, it's an elevated pole with like a light.
But like, what's it called, that?
Well, Pat,
Yes.
Or you get to
I can-
playground.
I can send a picture of it like sometime this week to like pass around. But it's never on. But I noticed it and I was like, if they just turn that one on, I feel like that's sufficient.
That might
Like,
help.
yeah, because there is like it is I think you would just need that one to be on. I think it would be accessible to everyone to play after dark hours.
Yes, sir.
That was just the only question. I think a lot of people get out of work at different times, and some people don't want to play like during like packed hours. So I think if we have the facilities, they should be able to be used until 11. Is the
Closing time, 11.
11, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Rogers?
I was just gonna say, I mean, we have issues unfortunately throughout different parks. But we're always trying to look and see what we can implement within our budget right now, because those weren't, implemented or considered during the budget. And those that we can't, then we'll throw them into our upcoming budget. We're talking for next year. But we will look, to see if there's an opportunity to upgrade or add additional lighting so that, we can use it till 11 o'clock.
For your budget's sake, would it be better to reach out to council members for those issues to use discretionary funds, or would it be better?
It just depends on the issue, but if you will allow us, let us consider that, because we have other parks that we also need some lighting. And so that we can put a plan together and then we can approach either council or look for savings through different, certificates of obligation bonds that we've had for years.
Okay.
We always find little savings here and there, and if there's an opportunity, we'll use that money. If not, we'll come back and let you all know, hey, we weren't able to do this because of this reason.
Okay.
But I think we can find lighting. That's not a lot of lighting for that area.
We'll understand that April 1st, which would be the minute of the fiscal year is coming up, so I know that this could be revisited after that. The daylight savings now, I mean, now, it's getting,
We're having some issues.
It helps,
So-
that helps.
and I think from here to the next budget time, that parks would be able to look into how much would it cost, and then can be incorporated by the end of the new fiscal year.
Maybe even earlier, I think earlier, it's just a matter, I mean, if, it's not that big of a court. And so it's just a matter of finding out the cost and just allocating the funding or finding the funding. We'll talk to budget and our finance department, because they're always finding little monies here in their pockets of money from old bonds, that are more than 10 years old or whatever. Hey, we have a little bit of money. Oh, okay, you know what? I need it for this, then we talk to management and they'll sure that they'll support us on that.
So for sake, Mr. Diaz, would you like to make a motion to, request that parks look into what would it cost, and then the placement for it and the cost, and then, we can revisit it in the summer, more or less of a time frame after that the cost has been analyzed.
I motion for parks to possibly look into looking at lighting issues and costs at several parks, possibly after the April 1st date for this year.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. We have one more.
Yes,
walkout,
he
so-
just walked out,
Yeah.
probably to the men's room.
Yeah, so we'll have to, we'll table this item and we'll revisit it once Mr. So this is requires an action. We'll table that and we'll
Well,
re-vote on it.
As soon as he
If I
comes back,
may?
right?
If it's item number 4, it just says discussion, doesn't even have it for action. No.
But there was a motion on directing staff to assist with the cost. So,
Well, I mean, we'll look into it anyways. I mean, the discussion is more just, okay, what was the concern?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, because I don't think it doesn't say possible action like the other ones.
it does not say, but you're right, sir.
So maybe it's just, we understand the direction you all want us to look at, and we'll look at that and we'll come back with a report, at least for the next meeting, to let you know where we're at. Hopefully, we'll have something maybe done by then,
Thank you.
for that one specifically.
I'll retract my second then.
Discussed and answered, thank you. We'll move forward to staff reports, item number 1, inclusion program of the Laredo All-In Program updates.
Yes. You did.
This is Jenny Sanchez. We brought her on board not too long ago, and she has implemented a new division within our department and has come up with a slew of programs, activities, and has definitely put the word out, not only in Laredo, but in surrounding cities, that we are doing this. And so it's getting a lot of attention. And we asked her here today to show some of the programs that she's already implemented and have been very successful.
Yes.
Jenny,
All right.
she's on.
I like to have like my own introduction music, but I don't have that today. Say I'm going to present to go to TAMU because we are partnering with TAMU on an activity for tomorrow that I'll invite everyone to. But anyway, yes, this is our Adaptive Inclusive Recreation Division. Our logo is Face It, Embrace It, Defy It, Conquer It. And we are like, I call us Impact in Motion. We are creating ripples right now in our community, and I want to share some of our big wins with y'all. So these are some of our activities that we've had going on. It ranges everything from aquatics to the gym to family time. It's been a great blessing to have this division. So we're creating the ripple, and also I'll give you a little bit of background. 2025 when we started up until now, how we're building our community, and then of course my dream big. Okay, just gonna throw it out there into the universe and see if we have money. So to let everyone know, our mission is we're committed to providing equitable access to high quality recreational opportunities to individuals of all abilities. Through adaptive programs, accessible facilities, and inclusive community initiatives, this department is committed to fostering independence, promoting health and wellness, and cultivating a sense of belonging. By removing barriers and celebrating diversity, we strive to ensure that every person can fully participate, connect, and thrive through recreation. So, again, our goal, everything we plan in this division is, are we building community? How are we doing that? And we also want to tell people on the other side of a trauma or a diagnosis or something going on, we can still strive to live our best life. We are a beacon of hope. And that's all of our initiatives. So you see, and I think you might have this in your folder.
Yes,
This
we
is
do.
what we sort of started with. We had a lot. You're going to see I had a lot in the summer because I realized I had summer staff. And so I was like, Miss Stanley, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. Take it out that I had summer staff. And I'm going to do that again this summer. So that, you see a lot of we hosted the first adaptive summer camp. And this was impactful. Parents felt seen. They felt like their kids got to be involved in meaningful activities. On the Friday of every week, we had like a meet and greet with parents, and we had a pool time, and we made connections with the family and the community at this time. We will do that again this year. I have my plan from Ms. Stanley, and we hope to add another week to it. So we had sports, we had arts and crafts, we had musical theater, and we had a STEM week. And these were just week long, and parents could, we called it Choose Your Groove. So as parents and kids could choose what they're excited about and be part of those activities. So we had aquatics, we had swim parties. We'll continue to do that. We worked with LC. We used their pool because it was good for our older groups, our stroke survivors included. So we'll continue. Hopefully in April, we start our pool parties up again. And I'll show you our scheduling, but now we have classes set in motion. So before, when I talked to y'all, we were sort of like, we're just creating events. Now we have a schedule of weekly classes. So I'll show you that in a minute. Our big event was the White Cane event. That was huge. It was a proclamation, and we got to see all areas of the community come to that. It was great. We've worked with everything our latest thing is like this week we have a unified basketball game. So unified means you have persons with disabilities playing with persons who are non-disabled. So we have our adult group, they're from a day facility. They come to our rec center to Haynes Rec Center Tuesdays and Thursdays. We provide different activities, and we had a unified volleyball game with the TAMU volleyball players. This time it'll be a unified basketball game with the TAMU Lady Women's basketball for. In fact, after this, I'm going to go and I'm going to train them because it's important that when we have these kind of events, we should take it as an opportunity to spread, just not just etiquette for persons with disabilities, but what they can expect when they do play. Also, well, let me move on to this. So you see, this is what we had for March. Some of our events. So every Tuesdays and Thursdays, we try to have consistent classes so people can plan ahead. Every Friday, we have a Get Fit class. So Eloy Rendon has already had this class for a couple of years. We sort of went 2.0. So I have a part-timer that I was blessed with, Coach John. Y'all might have met him. He's in a wheelchair and has played wheelchair sports. And so he is now working on Fridays because we will have up to 30 people in this class. What we're using this class for, and this is all ages, from 7 to 40, okay, persons with disabilities. So this class, we go 2.0 because now we're connecting to community events like our adaptive athlete divisions in our 5K, like our Mud Fiesta, right? Like our wellness games. We're gonna try to train them up to be able to participate in local events. Also, I have people go speak to this group. People who are hosting a 5K, or like Randy, who's having his Mud Fiesta. He went and spoke to the parents and said, hey, I have this Mud Fiesta, like, let's make this work, right? And so these parents are excited about their athletes, having opportunities and feeling welcome. So again, just trying to create this connection. Like on the 13th, we had an event with Driscoll Hospital. We had some state troopers come in and do a fitness routine with us, and it was a fun thing. We'll see what we do in the future with them. So you'll see, we're moving and shaking. We have April. We have some pending adaptive pool parties that we'll be doing. April is Autism Awareness Month, so we'll have a sensory swim. Our goal is to participate and do these events, but also not get too pigeonholed, or, because I do have, persons with physical disabilities. We have stroke survivors. So we're making sure we have a little bit of something for everybody.
And last year, being the first year, this was fully done, right? Like the whole,
Oh, yeah.
the full year source. What have you seen, for example, into what is working and what doesn't work?
Okay, that is a great question. What they really appreciate about what we're doing is that it's not just token activities, that we're embedding in things that are happening in the community. And guys, that is what they feel most seen about, is that we're not just saying they're being included, it's seeing a community. Like, in other words, it's not just about having an adaptive class, it's about, we're all connected. I tell people, like, health department, we're cousins, and, we work together. I work with UISD. I work with these different, so we're not so fragmented, so that parents know, like, they can we're all starting to speak this common language, and that we're not making token things, but we're actually embedding things into our community, right? I think that's the difference is, but we still give the option, right? Like our adaptive class, pool times give people who, like some of our stroke survivors, right, who can't go into a pool where there's a lot of splashing and jumping and that kind of craziness. So they know that I'm going to create these pool parties where I'm still going to have some music and I'm going to have some, water aerobics, but it's not going to be crazy. And people will go in there. So if I have to tell anybody, hey, like, let's simmer down, what's in your Yeti? We know that this is a party where our stroke survivors can go and feel safe, and they have a ramp, and it's comfortable, and that kind of stuff.
And at that event, excuse me, for the stroke survivors, it's only of that age group.
It's 18 and over.
18 and over.
Yeah, so I called it a pool party. It's an 18 and over pool party. So we'll have our adaptive group, and so we've been reaching out to our adult day facilities to say, we're here and available. So Forever Growing Institute those parents got together and said, you know what, we're paying for a rec membership. So they paid for their adult children to have rec membership, and they come Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so we make sure we have bocce ball, and I'll explain to you what we're doing. We decided to go beyond just like playing basketball, or throwing a ball in the gym. Bocce ball is a Paralympic sport. We're creating and validating, that there's things happening that they can do beyond Laredo, right? So creating consistency. And Tai Chi is not a program I do. That's been going on for years, and it's been highly successful. But I tell people that is adaptive. That is, for all age groups, and it's free. One of the things, Ms. Stanley talked about a lot when I got here, which I loved, is that she wanted to make it cost effective. We're not trying to make money off of this population who's already stretched thin, and a lot of them living on, fixed incomes. So our goal is to constantly be mindful of that. We're just creating opportunity, but embedding them into these, these local events is what's made the big difference. That has been honestly the big impact. Is not just that we're creating consistency here, but we're actually creating community that is more mindful. So, and people have really enjoyed coming to this Friday class to talk to the group, and they're learning. So.
Tai Chi's not easy.
I know. No, I know. I joined like a class. I was like, all right, just kidding, y'all. But also, I know aquatics takes up a lot of money, I know, but aquatics checks a lot of boxes for people with disabilities. So our aquatics, we're gonna continue to expand, but on their own, aquatics has been rock stars before I even got here. It was easy for me to jump on board with them, and our stroke survivors are incredibly grateful for every chance we give them in the pool, by the way. But they all are. But also, North Central Park, there is they have an adaptive swim team that's happening already, right? So they are paying a coach that's there, and these guys are competing. You know, they're competing here, they're competing out of town, they're participating in their schools, things. So what we're doing is creating this ripple effect, and they're starting to see that, you know, that there's opportunities. Bobby Cruz has been in touch with, me about what we can do with UISD. LISD a little bit, but I went to go speak to their, sports, his athletic director, what's his name again?
Luis.
Luis, right, and they wanna do more things, so we're working to see how we can all work hand in hand. So this is some of our, of course, we had our first adaptive summer camp, this is some of our big impacts, our adaptive athletes division, so that like the Bridge is having their 5K and they're asking me questions like, how do we have this adaptive athlete division? How can we create this? Same with the Mud Fiesta. It didn't start off with one, but now they have the 9 a.m. wave will be for adaptive athletes. The wellness games. And over here, I just call this making space, meaning like, for instance, at our marathon, these guys weren't gonna run that marathon, but they sure as heck were gonna help us. They were like handing out waters, handing out medals. So making spaces anywhere from like employment or volunteer opportunities to just being able to give them
Participation.
themselves, right?
Yeah.
So like, we wanna create activities and events for them, but we also wanna give them that opportunity to feel good about sharing their gifts as well, right? And some of these guys are employed or they have been employed and they're excited to be social, and,
Jenny, do you wanna talk about the two opportunities that we're looking at to actually employ these individuals at the rec centers?
yes. And, and actually I'm gonna come right to that. So just so you know, this is some of the stuff we've done to embed ourselves in the community so that we know where is the need? I talked about this before, and this is not a critique on the salamander because I love it. I've been like spying on it. But again, like having a protective fence, right? So parents are big on having fences. We have kids. Monday I had an event. I had 2 kids who were like 4 who were like running everywhere. I had basketball players as as volunteers. So I'm like, run, shoot them. So the issue of kids with autism who are eloping, their parents are looking for safe parks that are fenced in. It's something that we have to be mindful about. That's why I host things at Haynes, because it's completely fenced in. It's a very safe space for them. So, we've had partnerships with all these people. Ruth B. Cal, respite care is something that we can't ignore as well, because we see that our caretakers are losing, their health. And so we have an opportunity, with Laredo Main Street and possibly South Texas, development, that they want to work with us to create respite opportunities, meaning they want to help pay for us to have an event, and get more staffing so that parents and care workers can have some rest, right? So this is all of our stuff that we're connecting to, but to speak to what Ms. Stanley is talking about, these are partnerships that we have. So Texas Workforce Solutions, they're gonna have people working in our, persons with disabilities working in our rec centers this summer. We've sort of done that in the past. We're gonna try to expand that to more. Also, we're partnering with Cherish Center. They partner with different businesses and communities. So we're gonna have students they've completed high school, and so now they're in that transition between high school and the real world. They'll be hopefully coming to see us at Haynes. I'm hoping to start that in April to try it out this month and see what we can do. I know that there's another thing coming up, which is like it's a Project Search or it's something else, but it's about employability skills, and that's something y'all are going to hear about a lot. That is big and heavy on the minds of parents in the community. So again, these are things we have coming up. I'm looking to do some basketball camps. That's been the other thing. People really want the basketball camps. So I'm going to try to work an idea to have several camps and games and then lead to a tournament maybe in August, an adaptive tournament where we're not just talking Laredo, where we spread it out to the different communities and bring them here. Well, that's where we're gonna go to. So by bigger go big or go home, we are gonna continue to implement things in our activities are connected to Paralympics. or Special Olympics. So Special Olympics are for persons with cognitive disabilities, Paralympics are for persons with physical disabilities. So they do have bocce balls that we already have, and we've had, we're looking at other things. Every event that I have at Haynes, we bring out sports chairs that we had donated so that people can try out a sports wheelchair. That's for anybody who's not just paralyzed or, but maybe has back issues, who just can't run up and down the court. They qualify for wheelchair basketball. So we're just keeping it out there, right? And so this is some of the stuff that we're going to continue to plan around. And again, I know you talked to me about this, and I've had parents ask me about a Miracle League. Again, something we put out in the universe. This is big. We are gonna, there's a contact in Corpus. I'm gonna get information with them. Mr. Valdez is also interested in seeing how much a Miracle League would cost. I need everyone to take up their tickets. This is our go big or go home. This is the big scene, guys, is that we're not just operating in one little spot. It's, people see this as everything. It's everything from sports, fitness, social relationships, life skills, all of it is sort of tied to recreation. We can't just say we're just here for parks and we're just here to play basketball. The community does need more for us. So, when we think about it and we hear about it, you haven't heard me talk about arts and crafts and hobbies like that because we have some of that. We don't have the facility yet for that. So Sally knows that I have dreamt up something. So in the event that we just have a lot of money somewhere stored, prized, in some library books, we have to start thinking about a recreation center that is a multi-purpose center that is not just for persons with disability, but that checks a little more boxes. Haynes is a great facility because we have all the sports areas. It's great, but we do need some space for arts and crafts, for music, for other areas that are hobbies and leisure that are indoor or, that require a little more space. So in the event that anybody has time later on, I have a 6-page proposition on this one. So anyways, that's what we're doing in our inclusive, adaptive inclusive division. Any questions?
Any questions?
Question. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying, I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I was gonna say,
Oh, hey,
And
thank
also,
you.
good job.
Eh,
Quick question.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just came from Special Olympics.
Mhm.
I have two of my nephews are very severe,
Right.
very high.
Like level 3, yes.
Yeah. I was there, it broke my heart, I was practically crying, I see them walking around, there's 3 people having handled it, each one. So when you have those nights where you wanna give parents the night off, right? Will you be able to handle kids like my nephew?
Yes.
Will we have people that are
When-
certified, trained to maneuver and handle? Because I don't mean, right, that what I saw today with my nephews was it was an eye opener.
Right, so that is a tough one, and I don't wanna say no to that, I'm gonna say yes to that we are gonna have that. That's why partnering with Laredo Main Street and South Texas Development, because, South Texas, they work with aging and disabilities,
South
so.
Texas Development Council.
There we go. Yes, I'm supposed to meet with them tomorrow morning before my event because they have funding, like they funded Ruth B. Cow's respite camp. So they have funding to pay for personnel. Because we have some personnel, but Parks and Rec we're not completely. So we, for their camp, what made our camp so successful is that we put money in to hire certified teachers who either had a background in working in units or, a lot of experience, but they were all certified teachers. So when we get to that point, it will have to be with that type of staffing.
So I will want to interject, and this is something that we've talked about a lot. We are a facility that offers recreation activities for all, right? We are not a therapeutic recreation because that takes a different level of staff, and that is more medical. You've got your therapeutic recreation specialist, and that is on par with a doctor. And so that's what we'd have to staff. That's why
Yeah.
we have to make that
It's-
very clear. This is recreational
Right.
and it's not medical,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right, like for instance, in the camp, I don't follow an ARD, right? I don't have an IEP, which is an individual educational plan. I used to be an administrator in charge of special ed, so that's my background experience. But, so we don't follow that, right? The same, which is why, but I already know that there's certain things that I can only do. For instance, when we have them for 5 hours, no. we'd probably have to condense that time, right? And, like our camp is, an accommodated an abbreviated schedule, so it's not going to 3, because we know after 1-ish, our medication starts to wear off and we have behaviors after 1. So we go to 1:30, right? So, but our goal is to not shy away from those concerns. But we are not staffed to take care of that currently, but we
Partner with
partner with, right?
entities that have that.
Right, like, I don't wanna ignore the concerns of parents, cause exactly what you're saying is exactly what parents are saying, and I often will say, well, we're just recreation, but I also don't wanna ignore the fact that there is a need that has not been filled, and it can't just be me, can't just be health department. We all are gonna have to somehow pull together to give parents, a moment, right? And let them know, like, we hear you. But we also are gonna get better. As our staff at Haynes, for instance, has worked with this adult day facility, they've gotten better on how to communicate, on how to, address, to talk to people person to person, not to, just talk to the workers, for instance, right? Our communication has gotten better, our service has gotten better, and we're gonna continue to get better as we face these difficult challenges. But the parents definitely in the community deserves us to consider it. But it's gonna take money and people.
Oh, yeah,
power,
it'll take, yeah, and the people that know how to handle it.
Yes, yeah,
It's,
and there are certified teachers who wanna help with this space, by the way.
Well, I certainly applaud your enthusiasm, boy, you're
I'm on
you're a ball of energy, that's for sure.
Love it.
Well, I'm here to serve. Oh, by the way, I'm determined to create an igloo, y'all. This is gonna happen. We're gonna have winter in this, so if y'all have any milk cartons. Alexander Ben donated about 120 milk cartons, because this is gonna be one of our recycle projects. And with our adult day facility, but it turns out I need like 500 milk cartons, so I'm like, all right, everyone, just rinse out your milk cartons.
Just tell me where to give them to you.
Yeah, Haynes Rec, or leave them here. I'll go pick them up either way. But thank you guys,
Thank you.
and I'm gonna run because I have to get to champion.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. By the way, the kite festival was awesome. We had an adaptive, we had
Division.
a division at camp at the kite festival, and the parents were enjoying the kite festival. They felt like they could go, by the way, so I just wanna say that I'm leaving, but the kite festival organizers did too.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Jenny.
Number 2, special events recap, this is my Ms. May.
And then
Ramiro.
also giving a little section.
Thank you. Yes.
We don't have that energy of it. She goes under my price. We've worked together a lot, so. A lot of our events are now inclusive, so thanks to Jenny. So we have included all city events and not just our Parks and Recreation events, but we're trying to include them on all of the events that we're partnering with.
And I give it to Ms. May because it's not been easy, y'all. We've had to have a lot of conversations and phone calls with timing systems and stuff that were not set up like this. And so I really give a lot of credit to Ms. May for letting me work with her on this. So it's not easy.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
No, it hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with the race that we did in January. So we're starting from January on. The 5th annual runway run. And as Jenny was saying, it's the first year that we included the adaptive division. And it was a little difficult with the timing system, trying to get everybody on the same page. It's something that we've never done. And trying to have everybody happy. And some of them were not so happy, but we were able to get it through. So it's a learning process and we're getting better at it. It's the first year that we had 1,000 participants. It was a really nice event with a lot of people. Go to the next page. So, the line started in the front and going all the way to the back. It was a great race. It was cold.
Very.
It's the first year we had it cold. The reason why we did it in this month was because the airport was under construction and we couldn't use the runway, and it's a race to run on the runway. So we decided to move it back a little bit. And that's why we did it in January.
Is it going back to
It's
October?
going back to October this year. You'll see it on the calendar next time. It's easier. The problem about running in January is that it's foggy, and if it's foggy, we can't use the runway. Cause they'll use it for emergency. There's 2 runways at the airport, if you all didn't know, so we use one of them and the other one stays active. So people are running and taking pictures and looking at the airplane. So it's a really cool, different race that we've done. It was our 5th one. So this year goes back to October. Kite Festival, we did a committee to work with the Kite Festival with
Yes.
Ramiro,
And Ruby from
Ruby
KLB.
from KLB, Eddie, and a couple of us from our office, and we put together a big event. So
It was huge.
it was
It
huge.
was
It's been one of the better organized. We added some stuff. Let me go back to the list now.
Where was that?
It's at North Central.
North Central Park. At the base of there. Where it floods.
I got to see firsthand, working with Keep Laredo Beautiful, with Ruby ahead of time, and we had court ordered youth participants go out there, the court, and help pick up the day after. We committed some volunteers. And, the kids really appreciate it. They also, they were out there and they know that they had to, get those hours in, part of the requirements with the court. So, we're very appreciative to Parks, and our commitment is that we'll continue doing that every year. So we have that additional manpower. Overall,
Right.
we ordered about 25, but that showed up from our end, where about 16, 17 kids additional from what Laredo Beautiful.
Yeah,
already had.
200 people that were there.
There was about 2,000
Yeah.
people there, maybe more,
No,
during the whole day.
Yeah.
2 to 5,000.
We estimate about 3,000 people between the night. This picture was at night. Go back. I think there's another picture during the day. So there are different crowds during the day. And then we got all the vendors and all the other people that, sponsors and all that stuff. We had the paddle boats, the train. So this is during the day, and then the other ones during the night. We have a concert that goes in with that. This year was, we had a lot of participation in the paddle boats, and I'll let you know about what in a bit. Is there another picture? Okay, yeah. So we added, besides what we had, we added community talent stage, where we wanted the community to go out there and perform if they wanted. So we had a little stage close to the paddle boat, so people can go visit the paddle boats. Because the years before, people don't like to walk, so they don't wanna go all the way out there because they're all the way in the front. So besides that, we also did a stamp, like a scavenger hunt deal thing, where you get stamped, and we were able to get some prizes, like some gift cards for $100. So people did go all the way to the paddle boats to get stamped, and then when they got the 5 stamps, then we would put them in and raffle $100 gift card. So that worked out really cool. That was a new thing that we added to that. We also added the kite contest, and it went well. We did one night, the glow in the dark, and we had about 6 or 7 participants, and they lighted their kites really cool. So it was cool. We had also the band, and we had 2 bands, so people stayed until we turned off the lights so they can leave. But it was a cool day. The temperature helped. It was very windy. So all those kites were flying up high. So I think it was well attended. We had the parking with
With Walmart.
Walmart.
So we had a little trolley go
A
back.
little trolley that goes to Walmart all the way around. So, yeah,
And overall, Mr. Mayor, if I may add, I've heard nothing but very good things about the Kite Festival. Actually, people look forward
Yeah.
to it. The
16th year.
no, actually,
16th year.
and it's always in the week of spring break.
Wednesday.
It's
It's
always
Wednesday
spring
of every spring break.
Yeah, good.
so and
On Wednesday.
we upped our numbers on sponsors
Yeah.
and people that wanted to participate. We almost had to turn people down because we didn't have enough space, but we were able to accommodate them all around the rim.
I have a question, for those kind of, city events, does Parks have its own, trash pickup where they haul all the trash and take it, either to a landfill or whatever, or is that something, is it a service that is hired?
It's all the
Solid
city.
waste.
It's part of the
Within the
city.
solid
city,
waste
but it's
within the
solid
city.
waste department.
And then let me give you a little something else. On the following day, KLB,
Yeah.
the person that was helping us, they had a little event there where they got volunteers to go and
One of the things that they wanna add, KLP wants to add is every time we have a big event, they wanna add cleanup the next day, so that helps with.
I only ask because I have a friend that kind of wants to get involved in city stuff, and he has his own trash company, and he said, I'm willing to put it up there for free if y'all need it. So it's just.
Free is good. Free is good.
Anything free is good, anything that says free
It's in our
is good. It's in our budget. It's in our budget.
Hit that magic word.
It's in our budget.
But you know, if there's somebody already taking care of it, then there would be,
Well-
make no sense, but if there's like that following day trash pickup or whatever, he can bring in his container and.
Yeah, that could have been a good thing to kind of collaborate and do it in
Yeah.
kind for the following day and.
What happens with our departments though, and I like the idea of free and help volunteer because even with our solid waste, it's a city department, but they have other functions going around, right? So they're pulled off of other things to come help us. And so if somebody's willing to help us out,
And it's a win
that'd be
for you,
great.
for him, because he gets to maybe put his logo on something.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, so,
And
this would be-
the best way, Mr. Alessandro, ultimately, there was a list of sponsors of this
Yes.
event. If, you know, if that's something that, you know, that business would like to
We
sponsor.
make a billboard or banner where we put all our sponsors and people take pictures, cause it has the kite and all that stuff. Besides of.
Yeah, and this was
right
something
now.
that came up in conversation
Yeah.
last Friday. So
Yeah.
I said, you know, we're meeting on Wednesday and I'll throw it out there.
That's good to hear.
So.
Very
maybe
good.
give us contact information.
Yeah, no, if you're going to come and explain like what he does and I'll just put you guys in touch and you can run from there.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it would be great.
Thank you.
Another thing that I wanna mention is that, thanks to the city, we now have the nonprofits that also volunteer on events to be able to get nonprofit, money, and, it has worked out really well. We have gotten a lot of volunteers in our events. I think the big first event was the race and the marathon. And we had good, responsible people that helped us out a lot. In this event, we had about, I would say, about 50 volunteers from the different nonprofits, and they helped out a lot. So it was really good. We didn't have to use a lot of our staff because we had volunteers.
And the thing, just to let you know, so Mr. Nev, the city manager, felt, we have different organizations we help, right, with funding, third-party funding, and so he says, well, it's all great, and I was the same belief. So we help them, but
But we need
we
to-
also need help for our major events, and so we're requesting that, or requiring that you put in so many hours to be able to get funding from the city, and so now their volunteers or their members have to come in also and help.
But they're
It's a
having
win-win
a ball,
for
and
everybody.
they're asking, when is your next event, we wanna help, you know, we even had the Mojitas, group of Mojitas, oh my god, they worked, they played, they came all dressed.
I was involved with so many of
Yeah.
those nonprofits, and I always wondered why the city never asked for help.
We had a conversation when Mr. Nem came in and that was part of the discussion, said like, when we have the opportunity to help, we help. But certain organizations will just say, "Nomás dame," and it's like, well, wait a minute, we also need help.
And-
We're also maybe not a nonprofit, but we're like a nonprofit, we
No, no,
have
no.
all these events. And so,
Well, you want our money, we need your help.
pretty much
Pretty much
that's where
is
the
what they said.
conversation was going, so.
And they're
I'm glad
great
that it's
help
working.
because those organizations, they have a lot of responsible people. They're not kids.
It's worked out really well. It
So it's
has
worked out, that's, I'm
It
very
has worked out.
To vote on item number 3.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And now, we'll need to,
Oh.
is that now part of the requirement? Well, sidetracking too much, but is that
What?
now part of the requirement?
Through our third-party funding, I think it's CD,
Yeah.
Community Development.
Community development
that.
takes care of that.
So they work with them,
Yeah, so they.
and then I know what events are coming up.
Yeah.
You'll need to participate, talk to your membership,
Set 'em
you
up.
just need to volunteer to get those hours.
Yeah, we tell them a list of events, then they volunteer to those events. So talking about what's coming up, we have, one of the, events have been going on for a while, which is with Councilmember Ruben, which is a family night under the stars. But it's also one of our events too, because we do the music and paddle boats and whatnot, and it's a lot of outdoor recreation.
Coiteidad Park on April the 10th.
That's on April the 10th, that's right around the corner. And then on the next day, and this is, you know, April's gonna get with a lot of events, it's busy. We've got the public health games, which is the, It's kind of like a mud fiesta with obstacle events. It's gonna be at our new facility at the Buena Vista Sports Complex. So it's something that we're partnering up with Health Department, something new, you know, quality of life. So we're trying to get some more events out there for our community. So hopefully this one goes good.
Is that the first time where the city's using the facility to make like a big event like that?
Yes.
No,
Well, no, we got
we've
softball and baseball and
had other
tournament,
tournaments.
but something that is
Soccer, something.
not,
We're gonna talk about that.
yeah, something that is not,
Not,
that sport, non-sports. Yes, that's the first one.
I see something very interesting on the, May 30th, and is that, naming the 5K on the fairway after?
After JJ Gomez, yes. So one of the events, Joe Pagan,
no, we,
the April 19th, we got Bridge the Distant, and he has that information. It's another partnership with the Bridge, that we're doing another 5K, so that's because of the Bridge era month, or Bridge Week. Concerts at the park, there's a couple of them that's what we're doing in there for the community, and then the May 30th is, we were supposed to do it in April, but there's another event coming up, so we're wanting to name a race that JJ wanted us to do at the golf course. And it's in the works. I have a visit tomorrow to finalize the
route,
all
the course.
the course, and I'm going with Victor. So, that's a tentative name. I'm still waiting for some ideas that somebody else was gonna give me and haven't given me. But yes, it's a different race, so it's gonna be on the greens and part of the pathways on golf course, so, yeah. And then after that was, we're gonna have the, summer, we've got the youth, the 27th youth, fishing derby that's been going on for a long time. So
27
last year
years.
was amazing. We caught over 100 fishes, which is the first time those kids catch 100 fishes. They were pulling in and out, but we baited the shore. So, every year we get a lot more numbers of kids. This last year we got over 150 kids, so it grows. And it's the sons of the first ones that have always been coming, so it's cool. It's a cool event. It's over at Lake Casablanca. Then we got the 4th of July, which is a city event sponsored with a couple of council members.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest event we have at Independence Park, so that's coming up. Parks and Rec Month, and we'll give all those events, we'll have it on the calendar. Those are like 10 to 12 events. Sister Cities is in July 12th. This would be the second annual. We didn't think it was gonna be that populated, but it's a big race. So the rest these are the bigger events, like October 3rd is when we have the race, the airport run that you had asked, that's on October 3rd. And then in November, this is the big race, which is the, November 15th marathon.
Just want to have a brief question, Ms. May. When you addressed the runway run at the beginning of your presentation, you said how there is an increase in participants of 500 more runners than last year.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that that's in part of because of the time change to January, or?
No,
Is that just
it's because our events have been growing.
Becoming more
And so
popular.
it's becoming more popular, and all these races are just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. We also added, a special price for the, CBP and them, and we have so many in town that we have a large group of Border Patrol agents that came into this race, and National Guards and all that stuff. So we gave them a special discount. That was a quick run.
Great.
So, yeah, it's just it's getting better.
And just to touch really quick, Mr. Chairman, committee members, yeah, JJ had that vision of trying to, I guess in a way, promote also the max, right? And these are opportunities where people that maybe that don't go there all that often have an opportunity to see the greens and say, wow, this is incredible. I mean, I think we were ranked 9th in the state as for municipal
Yes,
courses.
recently.
Recently, and so, I mean, a lot of people still haven't gone out there to see it. And what we're gonna talk to Jeremiah and the company running it for us is, during this event, let's start promoting beginner classes for the runners, because you never know, it's like, oh, maybe I can do golf. And so it's an opportunity for them to also maybe get business.
And some of the prices that we're gonna give to the runners is plastic.
Yeah, and so it's a win-win for everybody, and so hopefully it works out, and that was JJ's goal for this opportunity, this event.
Looking forward to being out there and supporting. Thank you, Ms. May, thank you, Mr. Barr. Before we jump over, Ms. Romero, I will make a motion to go back to the item for discussion. It was, I believe, item number 4, we needed to vote on. I know Mr. Rosato stepped out. Item number 3, a discussion possible action to add rotating system on pickleball courts to make it more accessible to more individuals. We had to,
Oh, no, I'm
No.
sorry. That one already passed. My bad, my bad.
That's number 4.
Yeah.
it was number 4. We were just gonna take a vote.
There was-
Is it required?
But there wasn't
And
a,
I withdrew my second
yeah,
because there was no need for
yeah.
a vote.
And we understand the guidance that y'all are providing for us, so we'll do that.
And correct, and it didn't say any action, so we did have that discussion. Sorry.
Yes.
So, we're.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. We'll have the status report on the special events, I'm sorry, the special events recap.
So we're gonna try to keep everything moving faster.
Okay.
Everybody,
Yeah.
we might be a little bit fast because I know we're running out of time.
So real quickly, Ramiro Ramos, events manager.
I missed Ramos.
So real quickly, I didn't get a chance to do like a real fancy presentation, but I did want you guys to have this information. This is basically what we do. I work with all the council members and their council assistants to provide their events for the year. On top of that, I also do for the other departments, and so we do a lot of other stuff. So this is really a summary of what we've had for this fiscal year. October, obviously, a lot of them are the Halloween events. Actually, most of them. A few district members do provide they have only 6 events per year. So, each one. So, some of the district members do provide, for example, this one, McDonald Elementary, they do provide one of their events for that particular event, and all they request is the train. So we have to provide our staff for that and everything else, so that's why it's one of their events. Most of the other ones are haunted houses, which basically we do the same thing. We have haunted houses, we provide music, we have vendors, pumpkin patches, all that good stuff that we do every year. November, the same thing, a few events. One of the highlights is District 6, Dia de los Muertos for Councilmember King. And that one has been a big success since it's been there. So it's a big one that we have a lot of people attending. You wanna go down? There we go. So then another big month, Christmas, December. Many of the districts also have events in their area along that month. As you can tell, sometimes it gets kind of hectic. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 16. So we have one almost every day.
Right before school lets out, right?
Yeah, cool. So this one, well, we talked about this one. It's because I did this presentation before the Kite Festival, but so we talked about the Kite Festival, the big one. Another one that's gonna come up that Jenny was talking about was the Laredo Mud Fiesta for District 5. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. A couple of Saturdays. This one and the following one. Other stuff that we have in April. We have one Easter event so far, so I'm glad that's just one. Family Night Under the Stars, a camping event, another one for District 5. So we stay there overnight at Jovita Hidalgo. In the school events, depending on who wants it could be several districts. So we go through that. July, the bigger ones is July the 4th, that includes a firework display, grilling area, concert. What else? And then the back to school events. So I did that real quick, right? If you have any questions, you have the information there.
Thank you, Mr. Ramos.
All right.
I appreciate it. Move forward with up next, the status report on the Buena Vista Sports Complex. I'd like to welcome, Mr.
Greg, let's say,
Greg Gasser to the, Parks, Committee, Board, and, Mr. Sitch. Hey, guys, Abby.
Buena Vista's awesome.
That's all.
That's all. No more needs to be said.
No, it is. It's an amazing facility. If y'all haven't been out there, we've got tournaments really every weekend. This weekend, we've got a softball tournament on one pod boat days and a baseball tournament on the other pod boat days. But it looks awesome when you see the pictures and all that stuff. But getting out there and seeing kids playing and seeing people enjoying the facilities you gotta be out there. You gotta see it.
You wanted to put that one, or you want the one in the dark one? we had a recording, I don't know where Joe left it.
No,
I'm sorry.
That's just fun. I mean, even that's awesome, yeah.
Well, that one looks nice, though.
Yes.
Has anybody
If
been
you
out there
haven't
yet?
gone out there,
Yes?
I got to make it, towards the tail end of the event for, Randley that night. But, when it was the official opening.
Yes, the ribbon cutting?
The ribbon cutting and everything, I think, very nice facility. I've now been there both during the day and at night, very nice facility. I was telling people about it, it looks like it's not the city of Laredo, but it is, you know, as it's growing and everything. I remember first visiting when it was, early, maybe mid 2019,
Uh-huh.
2020, around there when, you know, the construction of it hadn't even started. So,
Yeah.
you know, being able to see that come up, is really impressive. Great work. I know that it's had, it's taken its time, but well, it's here now and hopefully that, you know, it serves the need of the public.
No, and it does. It's awesome, guys, because there's so many different things we can do out there. The way it's configured, we've got turf bases that we don't need plugs for. We can put them literally at any distance. There are plugs out there in a lot of the fields, but those turf bases can be moved really for anything. And, you know, we've got an event this weekend where they're doing different age groups on a different one field. So instead of us having to move plugs, mounds and everything, we can just move those bases right after that last game on Saturday, before the 8 o'clock on game on Sunday in a matter of minutes. The soccer fields, you know, they're all purpose, so we can run soccer fields in different directions. We also painted flag football, and we had 8 flag football games going on at the same time a couple weeks ago, which is awesome. Kind of go through some numbers on some stuff. So right now, we have either deposit or payment made on reservations every weekend all the way through May. We've got days kind of scattered through the course of the rest of the year that we have deposits on, but there's some open weekends kind of here and there. But right now, we're booked all the way through May. We are requiring with everyone, everything's fair and honest. It's awesome. I love the ordinance, because we have standard where we collect deposit, we get that reservation. Whether it's USA softball or Perfect Game or USSSA baseball or wherever it is, we're going through the same processes with everyone. And that's keeping everything consistent, so we're booking those out on a consistent basis with everyone, with getting their insurance and getting those processes in with all our guys. One thing I really like about the way this has gone is by next weekend, the first 6 weeks, we'll have had 10 different organizations coming into events.
Wow, nice.
Right? And so we're working on building lawns. Some of these guys that have come in, they have repeat events kind of through the course of the year. I have listed on here, you see the 10 different groups. We also have paid deposit or stuff reservations from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new or different organizations that are already coming in. So that's almost 20 different groups that we have coming in on weekends through the course of the year. And doing that long term is, you know, like I was talking with the guy from USSSA this last weekend. And as these organizations come in, they prove the value that people are going to come to Buena Vista to play. As they prove that value and those tournaments grows, that's when we get those NITs. That's when we get those big national qualifiers that people have to come here to play to go to Florida or California, wherever it may be. But I mean, those things take time, but it's really not going to take that much time. I have talked to some guys about doing some stuff actually within this year. Possibly getting a couple of those events with some of those organizations within this year.
How far ahead do you have the schedule?
Right now it's booked through May, but we have stuff booked and paid for December even.
Are those NIT things, something that you guys, reach out to, or something that they reach out to you guys?
It would be something that they would run. So right now we rent space, right? So say we have whatever organization, whether it's, let's see, Centex, NCS, or USSSA, or whoever it may be. So we contact them or they contact us, and then we schedule for them to come and run a tournament. As they run that tournament, they contact their teams, and everyone that's registered with that affiliation, they come in and play. The more and more tournaments they do and show the value of coming here, that's when we work with those organizers and say, hey, let's instead of just a 2-day or 3-day event, let's spread it out and get those 4 or 5 day events where we have people coming in from across the country or across the state or if from Mexico or wherever it may be, to come to this qualifying event to go to those other tournaments.
Yeah, to add to that, so it's an ongoing process for Greg and his staff and even our office and CBB as well, just to, to publicly put that complex out there and let people know that it's available. Excuse me.
So, and looking at the numbers, guys, I mean, already we've had like 200, I think I just figured like 276 different teams on site in the events we've had. Doing the math with conservative numbers, that's over 6,000 people that have come to our complex on site. That's using 2.25 to 10 people per team, right? So with conservative numbers, we've had over
What time?
6,000 people.
What time frame? Month?
That's in the last month. Yes.
1
that's
month.
just in the first
That's how long. That's how long it's been open. 1 month.
Right. In one day, our biggest day we had out there, we had both pods going and we had flag football going in one day. Again, conservative numbers, we had over 2,000 people just that afternoon on site. So we're getting people there and we're getting teams coming in and we're getting a lot of feedback from these organizers who are coming in and doing tournaments, especially from the out of town teams that are coming to the facility. The feedback I'm getting is, whoa, this is awesome. We will come back here and play.
That's great.
Yeah.
So things are going well, but it's gonna get better and better. It's gonna get better.
Any questions?
And is there a tracking as to, you know, as to those teams saying, well, you know, I wanna come back?
Yeah, they'll survey. I mean,
That you all have the information of those teams to, you know,
Reach
follow
out.
up and reach out.
We're working on it with the organizers. Everything is done through the organizations that are leasing the facility. So in building those relationships, we'll get more and more access to those numbers and to those other teams.
Is it being promoted in any way, Facebook? Like, does it have its own
Yes,
page?
we just got our Facebook and Instagram and stuff up, I guess 2 weeks ago. So social media is growing. We're working with PI to run some more programs and do some more things. We're talking about doing a mixer out there with for local businesses to start moving into procuring those sponsorships, whether it's naming rights and field rights and even down to the mom and pops and still get us a fence sign out there.
Would it have a website on its own if it's not up yet? Would it have a website if teams are able to see, well, I wanna see if there's booking, I wanna look into possibly booking something, whether it be an event or a tournament, is that something that?
Right, no, that is in progress. We have an internal calendar, that we're using right now for all our bookings and even during the week. I'm talking about weekend stuff, but we're starting to get a lot of stuff during the week. We've got stuff out there 3 nights a week right now. And that's not in every field, but we have an organization that's paid all the way through June 3 nights a week. And even that relationship is.
And that's during the weekdays.
That's weekdays, that's Monday to Thursday. So we've got staff out there kind of mad. Now, it's new, you know, and we have people still showing up and just wanting to go get on the field and things like that. And we're policing that. And that's gonna be a process, you know, but because it is rentable space, it's not just a theme park.
I was just gonna ask you, like, how do you feel with I guess like with the number of staff that you have for like those big events, like the 2,000 event? Do you think you have everything like you need?
Right, it's getting there. The guys we have are awesome. You know what I mean? But we are still staffing. We've got 3 more groundskeepers that we have scheduled. We're doing interviews and pulling people on. We're adding a finance person. We're working, we have interviews right now scheduled for the business development marketing. So as few of us are doing a lot right now, but we're taking steps and moving forward. What's good is for these bigger events, because we're not actually running the tournament, we don't have the signer for the umpires and the guys to work in the gate and all those things. That's all being taken care of by the people that are leasing the facility. Right now, we're keeping it clean. We're kind of checking in and serving all those needs that those directors need kind of through the course of the day and then running that event.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment really quick. When it was approved, the actual cost was about 55 million. And council at the time said, you know what, we're gonna pull back, not gonna do everything in the first phase of the master plan. So they only approved 45 million. Now that we've opened it up, council has brought up the issue again and said we need to fund the rest of phase 1. And so we're working on that right now. And they actually Also approve phase 2 to start design and get those costs going.
What would be in phase 2?
I'm trying to remember,
It's another
it's another
Clover.
Clover, which is 5 fields. And then
In addition.
2 pods.
Yes.
Okay, it's 2 pods parking. What we've noticed recently is that when we get busy, the parking lot that we thought was big enough is not big enough. So in phase 1, and I call it 1B, that we're gonna be constructing and start construction very soon. There are, is it 300, 400 more parking spaces on the backside?
Yeah.
There's an area between the 2 Clovers with the 2 5 pods. In the backside, and that's a lot of parking over there, so that's gonna help out with the parking situation. What we were discussing was, again, looking at different types of sports, pickleball. I'd like to see if we can do tournament style pickleball courts plus a championship pickleball court, like a main event one. And start hosting those type of tournaments. I was thinking outside, but further discussions in the master plan, which is in a phase in the future, not even considered in the first or the second one, we actually have a facility, an indoor facility that would host either have a 10 to 12 basketball courts for tournaments. And you can do indoor pickleball, Greg was telling me, on those basketball courts.
That's the picture of the full complex.
Plus more.
So this would be the indoor facility. Right now, we've only done this, and this one, right?
Yes, sir.
And the parking lot.
And well, this parking lot, this is phase 1B right here. So that'll go around and that's for this. And then I think we're gonna be doing this, and then another concession area.
That's gonna be right in here.
And so, and then that's
How many
phase
total
2.
acres is that?
I wanna say 100.
I think total that was
200.
200 acres. And that's inside the fence line, the perimeter fence line that you see there.
So it's coming along, but I think, speaking with Greg here, since he's managed it, he's seen what where we're going, where the trend is, that maybe we're gonna try to convince council to see, instead of doing this other baseball complex, to do the indoor. I think that would also give us a different opportunity, even attract other people that aren't
Another
baseball folks, or,
Basketball,
Basketball,
volleyball, pickleball, cheer, dance,
Yeah.
gymnastics.
so we could, I mean, that would be a major facility also.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so, no, it's coming along, appreciate Greg. Like I said, I was part of the interviewing panel and we hired him. Seems like he's the guy, so let's hope that, and he's done a great job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, más.
On to the next item is the update on the North Central ATA Park Phase 2.
Okay, so this has been one of the CIP projects and North Central Park, it's almost complete. They're just pending some lighting changes. And they incorporated those to what had gone on phase 1, so they incorporated those into this project as well. Lights for the fountain area, pending the sign. We should be having the sign done by the 26th or the 27th. They're anticipating the completion date of early April. And we're scheduling, working with staff, council staff, to initiate a ribbon cutting for the facility.
So by early April, in a couple of weeks, it should be done.
It will be done.
And this is the, to complete the salamander design.
Correct.
In Central Park.
Exactly.
There's some open areas that are gonna be left open on purpose. We were able to acquire some irrigation and some hydro mulching for that area, so it'll look green and pretty, hopefully, by that time.
Good.
So,
I know it's a very well attended park and, so in a conversation, with the weekend of the WBCA, I was having a conversation with Dr. King. And, you know, he was out there talking about this particular project.
Yes.
So hearing that, and I know that, it's also a priority to him, being able to complete this,
Yes, sir.
system, so.
yeah, he's very proud of it.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Anything else on these update?
Not on phase 2.
Intercity pool shade.
Item number 5, the status report on the intercity pool shade, and there's a attachment to that on your binder. And Ms. Stanley, would you be presenting?
Yes, That is complete. It is, if you all have not had a chance to go by, it looks amazing. We have a lot of individuals who are enjoying that. The warranty, they said that it comes with another 10-year warranty. The company is local that can actually do this. We had to reinforce the columns and then replace the shades. So it is it's a game changer. We definitely need it. We had it for 20 years. The first one was 20 years and it lasted.
It was leaking.
But yes, well, it is fabric. And so, but we had tears in
Yeah.
the fabric. And
Thankfully,
so,
That's why I swim all the time.
you only notice it the 2 times it rains.
a year.
But you'll notice it, that's fine.
No, but the funny thing is, I'd be in there swimming, and there would be all these other people saying, "Ay, pues está lloviendo." I said, "Well, you're in the pool.
You're wet.
You're wet."
You're wet already.
And the previous shade was how old, the 10 year, 20 years?
It was 20 years old, and so the warranty was for 20 years, and that's exactly how long it lasted. So this one is gonna be a 10-year warranty, but they said it will last 20 years.
Compared to our, with our heat, it's
Yeah.
something to last that long. I mean, you see some of the parking lots that have that other. Of course, it's of a lesser quality, right? The ones
Right.
in parking space, but they don't last that long. And I think it's because of our heat. But granted, this is very good and very needed, and I know that folks are out there since very early in the morning, about 6 a.m. So, thank you, Ms. Nalish.
Yes, sir.
Anything else on? And then we have, item number 6, the capital improvement projects approved by council, CIP projects.
Yes, we have an attachment in your binder so that you can see that the projects that have been approved that were submitted to council for approval. And so I'll give you a rundown. The aquatic shade structure, that's the 250. That's already been taken care of.
I have this one.
You should have.
No,
both.
y'all have that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should have both.
Okay, I'll find it.
Okay. Barbara Faskin Recreational Swimming Pool, that is currently being handled. They're working on the amendments for the archaeological and engineering services for the proposed pool. And so they are working on the documents to be able to get this out to bid.
I have a brief question, Ms. Stanley.
Yes, sir.
On the parks tab there on the number 2 on the Arturo Benavides pad shade structure, that facility, that splash pad was originally paid for the grant funds? Or was that through the city? I know that at the time it was Councilman.
I think it was district priority funds,
I
wasn't it?
wanna say it was district priority funds,
And
yes.
The same as well?
No, this is actually under CIP, and that's $200,000.
That's for next fiscal year.
Oh,
Oh, 20
Yeah.
Barbara Faskin, it's 1.5 million, that's been approved. The Boulevard of the Americas is also under the city of Laredo. And, engineering is also working on the documentation for that. We've gone through, reviews and, identifying different companies who are submitting, proposals to work on that project. The Canseco House renovations and engineering is working on that. We met with them, on these projects. The citywide park shade replacement staff is currently working on it. We've got $400,000 for the next 5 years, for a total of $2 million. This is, as you said, somebody mentioned earlier, that the shades do not last. Well, the Laredo sun is very hot and it burns the fabric and it makes it very brittle. So, to that end, we do have a need to replace them, exactly, which is why we know we're asking for these monies, and this is for all our parks. The playground replacement program, same situation, $1.6 million. That was approved. Staff is currently working on, and we've got 8 designs already.
Correct.
And that's what we're gonna be replacing, so then we need to get those, come up with a design, submitted to the assistant so that the council can look at the different options that we're looking at, get their approval, and then go out for, do the bids, the quotes for the projects. Indoor rec feasibility study, we already met with engineering. We did the grading of the companies that submitted proposals. And so engineering is moving with that. The market tennis courts, that has been complete. That's $765,000. That was completed about a few weeks ago. And we're pending the council member to actually do a PSA or some sort. The front four were not done. They need to be done. We're putting it in the CIP for this year.
That's District Two, right?
Correct.
How much does a tennis court run?
About $90,000 for a brand new one. Mhm.
Brand new, yeah.
Yes, sir. And so because of the groundwork that engineering was requiring, digging up about 10 inches and then building it back up with cement, 6 inches, and then the plexi pave and then the color,
Right.
the cost increased. And so hence the reason the 765 for the back five. The Max Mandel building renovations, engineering is working on that. We actually have a walkthrough to identify the areas that had already been discussed on Monday. New playgrounds, we have $200,000 for this year and then 800 for the next 4 years for a total of 3.4. Same reason, these parts, a lot of them are plastic, and they will deteriorate over time, and so they do need replacement. So we're constantly aware of when staff goes to do the maintenance, they do a look about the facilities as well to identify what's needed. North Central Park Inclusive Playground, that's the 1.2 that is almost at completion. ORLAP grant, community development is working, we're working with them. They're taking the lead on actually submitting the documents for the grant that was approved by council.
That's nice.
Correct. Park improvements, you'll see $4.5 million. The purpose,
The order, on the understanding, is that the one being worked along with, Risk?
yes, sir.
They're involved.
Risk, community development, and with a $3 million buy-in from the county. And that's being discussed.
It's 2 and 2.
I know that there was a
I thought it
conversation,
was 3 and 1. 2 and 2? Okay.
was there a response from the county on that?
Yes, they submitted an email. Initially, they had said that since they were gonna use certain monies for their 2 million, that they might not have access to that money anymore, and so we needed to know, right? Cause then we take on the whole burden, or we don't, and it all goes away. They came back with an email saying, we'll be able to participate, but we're gonna be paying it since it comes out of their general fund, the next 3 years, the 2 million. So it's a 2 million and 2 million, and our 2 million, we're putting in 1.7, I think it is. And the additional, or the pending money to get us to 2 million is what we're doing in-house. And they're giving us credit for that.
And for those 3 years that the county's doing it, that's the life of the grant, right? It's
Yeah.
within those 3 years.
Yes.
I had heard about those discussions, so I was aware.
So I would assume they're gonna keep their word.
Yes.
You take it off. I gotta work. All right. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Okay, the next one is park improvements, that's 4.5 million, and that is still up for discussion. A project has yet to be identified, the Santa Fe Walking Trail and the Shiloh Biking Trail. Engineering is working on the design, they're at 90%, the Shiloh is at about 85%. And the Slaughter Swimming Pool, that's on hold, that's for next year. The SOLA is currently being worked on by engineering. Sports lighting, we have $405,000, and that is, the need for that, the different parks is being determined by parks to be able to replace, and install new lighting. Any questions on those? I know that was a lot of information real fast. And a lot of money just being spent right now.
And if I can, just ask,
Don't be aquatic shade there.
and if I could just add, Mr. Valdez, and listen, we'll continue to have, I know that the county's in the process of the change in administrations at the top levels, so, as soon as that's settled, we'll initiate conversations, already, that this had already been a committed, project. I know I've had that conversation already with, council members.
You sit on the board, right, with.
And I'm also on the board of risk,
Risk, I'm sorry.
but advocate, the Rio Grande International, but then also advocating on the city side and then at the county side. Perfect. So, cause I'm employed by the county. But, that we can, make, advocate for this project for it to go through and obviously, since it has the grant, that way the city does not lose the grant.
Right.
Awesome,
All commitments go through.
awesome.
Thank you, advocate.
But we're, at this point, we're already, today, yesterday was the deadline to say yes or no. So we said yes based on the email response from, Judge Dano's department. And so,
Contingencies.
yeah, and so we're hoping they don't back out, cause then we're responsible for
No,
the $4 million.
and
And we don't have that budgeted anywhere.
we'll try and set up a meeting again with, members of the commissioners court and whoever wants that county judge seat is settled, that they can, that this can be revisited back on the county side as well.
All righty, thank you.
Thanks.
Where are we?
Item,
I think that's it, huh? On, this next meeting?
items for next meeting, I know that, I'd like to recommend Mr. Alvaro did step out, so we no longer have any, pending votes, but we will continue, with the meeting. Any items for next meeting that we can, address, board members? I would like to see or hear about regards to parks, and I know that we
On our
also-
part, we will bring back the items, we'll report on some of the costs for the lighting and a couple of other things that you guys asked for, so we'll do that. But if you wanna add anything else to the agenda, you have time, you can email us at any time before the next meeting, and we'll be glad to.
Because the agenda would have to then be published the Friday prior.
Thursday actually is what they're asking for now,
See now.
correct?
We'd have up until Wednesday, so to speak. The week before the meeting.
That's the deadline.
That would be the deadline.
So Wednesday,
And thank you, Chris, and it's very, helpful and on top of that with us. If there's anything else, I'd like to move forward to adjourn, make a motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor, we are now adjourned.